Community ecology. So, community ecology means the study or the ecology of a community. Means the community consists of the group of the population. Though population consists of only the group of individuals of the same species, but here community consists of the different population, different species of populations. Okay, so a community comprises of populations of the various species such as plant, animal, bacteria, fungi that can coexist in one place. And these populations, they all work together to create a biological community that interact and they share the resources among them. Okay, so community ecology basically it concerns the mechanism governing the interaction between the various species and also their overarching effects. So, the ecosystem ecology they study the living thing and the non-living thing component, including the populations, communities, and organisms. So, community ecology, also known as a syncology. Okay, it is also known as the ecology is it is a branch of the biology, or we can say more concisely, it is a branch of the ecology that focuses on the study of interaction among the population of different species within a particular habitat. Okay, suppose within this is a particular habitat and there is a population. Okay, group of population is there. Population 1, population 2, population 3. So these three population together form a community. So this is the basic fundamental of this community, and to study the ecology of that particular community or particular habitat, that is known as the community ecology. Okay, so, what does it actually do? So, it examines how these species they can coexist, because if multiple species are there, so they are coexisting together. It means they are competing with resources, with the food, or with the habitat. Many things, with many things they are competing for. Okay, so they are competing for the resources, and also they interact with the each others, thus therefore they are helpful in forming or in shaping the community, or we can also say in shaping the dynamics of the community. Okay, so let's explore what are the key aspects of this community ecology. So, community ecology or structure basically it composed of the species richness, species diversity, and dominant species. The three basic points they cover in a community structure. So, species richness, we know that it represents the total number of the different species in a community. Suppose in a particular area, the number of species of coral reefs or the number of species of the tree are present, that uh, contribute to the species richness. For example, in a forest ecosystem, the species richness might include the various type of the trees. It could be of the oak tree and pine tree are there, maple tree are there. There are number of okay, so trees of the various species, and also the shrub can also be there. There is a herbaceous plant of there. Okay, there are the fungi is there. There are some animals also there. There are some predators also there, the insect is there, bird is there. So all that include the species richness. Next is the species diversity. Species diversity basic, it is a combination of the species richness and the relative abundance of each species. Okay, so it is a measure, we can say, that how that combine the species richness with the relative abundance of each species within our community. For example, consider the two community with the same number of species. Okay, suppose the two communities are there with the same number of the species. Now if one community they have more even distribution of the individuals among the species, okay, there is a even distributions of the individuals among the species, then it would have the higher species diversity. Okay, but then the another one where one or only the few species dominate. Okay, where only the few species are dominating, then while in the another community there is a the abundance of each species is equal, there is a uniform distribution of each species, then in that case the community A will be have the higher species diversity than the community B. Next is the dominant species. The dominant species, as the name suggests, that species that exert a significant impact on the structure as well as on the functioning of the community due to their abundance or their ecological role. For example, in the grassland ecosystem we studied, and the grasses species are the dominant one, and grasses species are the dominant one, and they play a very important role because in the grassland ecosystem. Why? Because they are the dominant species there, and they cover the large area and play a very crucial role in the nutrient cycling, which may be considered as a dominant species. Okay, so their abundance influences the composition as well as the dynamic of the entire community. Okay, so the abundance only influences the composition as well as the dynamic of the entire community. So this is how the structure of the community forms. Next is the ecological niche. The ecological niche can be of the two types, the fundamental niche or the realized niche. So the fundamental niche means the full range of the environmental condition and the resources the species could potentially use. Means suppose the fundamental niche is that suppose there is a habitat or suppose there is an area in which a lot of environmental conditions and the resources are available for the large number of the species which can utilize them. But realized niche is somewhat is the actual picture is present in the community, means the actual range of conditions or the resources which a species uses in the presence of the competitor. Though there, suppose the habitat is there or the area is there, there is 100 resources are there, 100 factors are there for sustaining the 100 population, but in actual this is not a fact. So the realized niche is the actual picture where the actual condition is that if these 100 resources are present, suppose there are the 40 species of different animal is there, 40 species of another different species is there, so all these species are coexisting in a particular community, so there must be some competition between them. So the actual range of condition and the resources the particular species uses in presence of the competitor, that is called as the realized niche. So this is the main difference between the fundamental and the realized niche. Now let's discuss some characteristic of the community ecology. So first we'll discuss about the diversity of the species. So it involves a variety of the taxonomically distinct organisms. For example, the plant is there, the animal is there, the bacteria is there. So all these things, decomposers are also present. So all these things are present. So diversity of species is one of the characteristic of the community ecology. Next is the growth form and the structure. Okay, one more point. In the diversity of the species, the diversity can be assessed at both the local level, also at the regional level. Okay. Next is the growth cover and the structure. So primary growth, primary growth forms such as trees are there, shrubs are there, herbs are there. So they are the primary form and they contribute to the community structure. And different plant species within each growth they form influence the overall structure. Dominances, not all species they hold the equal significance. A few dominant species is there which shape the characteristic of the particular community. So these dominant species they exercise control and they have a very significant impact on the whole community. Next is the self-reliance. Self-reliance means the community they comprises of both the autotrophic as well as the heterotrophic organisms. Okay, heterotrophic organisms.